Hi guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we are going to be looking at the top 10 wide receiver prospects in this stacked receiver class heading into the 2020 NFL Draft. Make sure to like and subscribe, it would mean a lot to me. Now let's dive into it. At number 1 I have Jerry Jeudy, the junior out of Alabama. He is a 6'1" and 193 pound junior that should go anywhere in the top 15 and in my opinion has top 10 talent. He's probably the best route running receiver prospect in the past couple years and separates at an elite level. He is also agile and elusive and a fantastic run after the catch receiver. His only knock is his slighter frame and his hands. Don't get me wrong, Jeudy has phenomenal hands, but compared to a lot of other top receivers, they either have better hands or equal hands. Jerry Jeudy is an elite receiving prospect that will probably have a very successful career in the NFL, and he reminds me a lot of Odell Beckham Jr. My number 2 receiver is CeeDee Lamb. Lamb is a 6'2", 198 pound receiver that will probably go top 15, but just like Jeudy, I think he has top 10 talent. Just like Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb can fit into any scheme and is a remarkable receiver prospect. Lamb is not the route runner that Jeudy is, but he is still a good route runner that is great at creating separation. His biggest knock is probably his release. The B+ grade that I gave him there is still probably a little lenient, but he has great hands and elite run after the catch and trap ability. But CeeDee Lamb's most impactful trait is his electrifying run after the catch. Despite not being the fastest receiver, Lamb is one of the most elusive and electrifying receivers I've ever seen. His highlight tapes are insane. In my opinion, CeeDee Lamb's pro comparison is Stefon Diggs. They are both electrifying players with great hands, and when they get the ball in their hands, you better watch out. At number 3, I have Henry Ruggs III, the junior out of Alabama. Jerry Jeudy isn't the only elite receiver out of Alabama. Henry Ruggs is the uber-athletic 5'11", 188 pound receiver that ran an unbelievable 4.27 40-yard dash. Henry Ruggs will probably go top 15, and I think he is well worth that value. He's a vertical playmaking receiver with great long routes and run after the catch ability. One key thing that separates Henry Ruggs from other speedsters like Ted Ginn, John Ross, and Jakeem Grant are his hands and electrifying playmaking skills. These talents bring him more into the conversation of Tyreek Hill, Brandon Cooks, and Mike Wallace. Justin Jefferson finds himself at number 4 on my board. He is a 6'1", 202 pound receiver that is projected to go in the first round, and personally, I'm really high on him. On my board, I have Jefferson at number 16. He's a phenomenal slot receiver that has unbelievable short routes with decent long routes. Justin Jefferson has great hands and debatably the best catch and traffic ability in the class. He also has great elusiveness in the open field, and he caught a ton of quick passes and turned them into plays at LSU. On top of all his skills, he shocked people at the combine running a 4.43 when they were expecting him to run in the mid 4.5s. My pro comparison for him is Robert Woods. At 5, I have T. Higgins, the 6'4", 216 pound physical receiver out of Clemson. He's projected to go in the first or second round, and I definitely think he has first round value. Higgins is a big body, above the rim, contested catch receiver with phenomenal hands. Personally, I hate how people are locking him into that slow, big body catching receiver when he's so much more than that. He has great run after the catch ability and pretty good route running. He isn't the greatest athlete, but he definitely isn't a liability. He didn't run the 4.6s or anything like that, but at his pro day, he ran an official 4.54, which is good for him. My pro comp for him is Devontae Parker of the Dolphins. At number 6, I have a bit of a sleeper in Tyler Johnson from Minnesota. Tyler Johnson is a 6'1", 206 pound receiver that will probably go anywhere from the late 2nd to the 4th round. He's probably one of the most well-rounded possession receivers in this draft. He can literally do anything. He's a great route runner with elite release off the line of scrimmage and good hands. He isn't the greatest athlete, but with his production and well-rounded skill, I think that he is definitely worth the pick, and I recently moved him up to my number 39 slot on my big board. I think that he is a great well-rounded receiver that reminds me a ton of Tyler Boyd. At number 7, I have Laviska Shenault, the playmaker out of Colorado. He's a 6'1", 227 pound freak that is almost more of a running back than a receiver. He has seen his draft stock fall the past couple of weeks due to injury concerns and other receivers raising stock. Overall, Shenault isn't the greatest receiver, but is an elite playmaker with a powerful and physical running style after the catch. He ran a ton of wildcat reverses and screens at Colorado. Personally, if I were to draft him, I would use him as sort of like a Swiss Army knife type of player to move around the field, just like they did at Colorado. I think he is the wide receiver version of Taysom Hill. Honestly, I think he's faster than his 40 time says. He performed at the combine while injured. I think he is similar to Deebo Samuel if I had to give him a receiver comp. I was very tempted to give him a Saquon Barkley comparison though, if he were a running back. For my number 8 spot, I have Brandon Aiyuk, the vertical threat out of Arizona State. He is a 6 foot, 205 pound receiver that is receiving some first round hype, but I don't really see it, and I think he shouldn't be picked till the second. He's got great long routes and really is that stereotypical deep threat receiver that also has fantastic run after the catch ability. His hands are pretty decent, and they're definitely pretty good. His 40 time is only 4.5, but he has elite speed, and I was really surprised by the time that he ran. Personally, he reminds me of Sammy Watkins, and I think he will be that type of player in the NFL. At number 9, I have the offseason standout Denzel Mims. He is 6'3" and 207 pounds. That definitely is a physical/vertical receiver that some people are giving first round hype. Honestly, I don't see him like that. He is a second round value in my opinion, and I think people are overreacting over his combine and Senior Bowl performance. At the combine, he ran a 4.38 and has a 38.5-inch vertical leap. Even though he destroyed the Senior Bowl, all of his reps there were against late day 2 to day 3 corners. Don't get me wrong, I've raised him a ton since then, but I still don't see him as a first round talent. He's got excellent hands and catch and traffic ability, and his routes are stiff and not very good. My pro comparison for Mims is DJ Moore. My receiver number 10 is also a bit of a sleeper. I have Van Jefferson, the senior from Florida, as my 10th prospect. He's projected to go somewhere in the 3rd to 4th round, but I see him with that late 2nd round talent. He is one of the best route runners in this class, and he separates so well. His release and run after the catch are pretty good, but his hands aren't ideal. He isn't someone to just chuck the ball up to and expect him to get it. He isn't Denzel Mims or T. Higgins. He probably could be higher on this list, but he has some injury concerns. He missed the combine due to injury, but definitely isn't a bad athlete. My pro comparison for Jefferson is Keenan Allen. I think that if Van Jefferson can stay healthy, then he will have a successful career in the NFL. If you guys want to check out my honorable mentions, I'll pin a comment with a couple of them. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and until next time.